What's going on, guys? Up here with a continuation of the last video where as soon as I got news about Akuma, I took out my laptop and I basically started talking a mile a minute at about 4 o'clock in the morning to be one of the first content creators to have out a word about it. Now that I've had a fair amount of time to think about it, and you guys have had time to talk about it in the comment section, and boy did you do a lot of that, I am so thankful. I'd like this video to go deeper into what Akuma's purpose might actually be in the Tekken 7 story, as well as focus on you guys' questions, comments, and theories about him. By the way, I got a lot of positive feedback on this thumbnail, so I made you guys another one just like it on this video. What do you think? Our first comment comes from The Menomics, and he said this: "How do you know it's canon? Are you sure it's canon? I think he's more of a guest character." And then he has a link to the Tekken wiki where it says he's a guest character. I certainly don't know that Akuma is canon to Tekken, but if he is, at first it feels a little bit like a cop-out, but at the same time it is also incredibly awesome if we can actually legitimately link Street Fighter to Tekken. The wiki states that he's a guest character because they want to. They use Destructoid.com as their source, and their article doesn't know anything about him being canon. That's the problem with a wiki. Anyone can write it, and there's usually a couple of the same guys dedicated to any given page, and they just do whatever they want. Every time I try and edit a wiki page, it always gets edited back because someone disagrees with my point. MXBH says a popular theory going around is that Tekken Cross Street Fighter was scrapped, so they're adding Street Fighter characters in this game. I'll touch more on this in another video, but I believe the focus on the success of these two games, Street Fighter V and Tekken 7, will fuel the interest in Tekken Cross Street Fighter. And I believe that was the plan all along. It just so happens that now Akuma is in Tekken 7, and we don't know if any more Street Fighter characters are coming to Tekken 7 at all. We'll have to see in the upcoming months. The Grenade Smuggler says, "You do realize Akuma's power, the Satsui no Hado, is completely different from the Devil Gene." My answer is, I do not, and so does everyone else. When you're talking video game lore and you're talking backstory, a lot of interesting things can happen that are quite surprising. Take Steve's backstory, for example. Doing research on him led me to a point where I was 95% sure that Leo's mother is definitely his mother as well, and I had no help from the story itself. They don't even hint to it at all. Instead, I had to put pieces together. And if you've watched the Nina and Anna Tekken theory and lore, you see why most people agree. But in order for me to make that strong of a point, I had to stretch a lot. That is the very nature of theorizing after all. You just keep stretching until you reach a point, and a point is what you make of it. That's a lot of fun. We have the luxury of doing that here in the YouTube space. So when I say that the Devil Gene could be a product of Akuma's power or vice versa, it is entirely possible. We just have to dig deeper to prove or to disprove that point. Although no one in this community has done that yet, most people probably expect me to. All I can say about it right now is that for Tekken Cross Street Fighter, they specifically show Evil Ryu next to Double Jin in the promotional art, and that may not just be for obvious reasons. Recon Bunny says, "Honestly, you make the best videos. Also, please make some more lore vids. 10 out of 10. Thank you very much for your comment, Recon. I love comments like these, and I will be making more lore vids to come soon. This month has just been really crazy with things happening in my life, and I'm doing the best to make content for you guys, but the good news is that a new Tekken theory and lore will be coming up soon, and then you guys will be able to vote on which characters you want to see next. But you'll have to wait until that video. Thanks again. I really appreciate those who come to leave nice comments just like this one. Automos Adamo, I think I said that right, says, "Akuma is Kazuya's real father, hence the Devil Gene, Heihashi's hatred towards him, and Lee's adoption, etc." Well, you see, Heihachi adopted Lee as a means of helping Kazuya to become a better Mishima. He's a douchebag. Lee's only purpose in the family was to be treated as a better child, while Kazuya learned to hate his father and become strong. Once that happened, Lee was pretty much ignored. Nowadays, Heihachi treats Lee the way Konami treats Hideo Kojima. He pretty much knows he's still relevant, but he already got what he wanted out of him, so f*** him. Also, the theory here about Kazuya being Akuma's offspring, it could explain why the Devil Gene goes from Kazumi all the way to Jin, but completely skips over Heihachi. Also, to make a note here, any Mishima or Kazama who wasn't born with the Devil Gene has an evil power, but only under weird circumstances. Like Jun, who has it, but only in the non-canon Tekken Tag games, Asuka that has it, but only in the non-canon Evo t-shirt, and Shinpachi has evil powers that brought him back to life, but we have no idea if that even was the Devil Gene at all. Joseph McFadden brought to my attention that in Tekken 5, Jinpachi simply refers to his mysterious powers as this thing, as if it were foreign to him. So whatever it is, it came from an outside source. He left some other facts here, but we'll talk about them in the next video. Sushi Yoda says, what if Street Fighter was a Tekken spin-off? Lord Bento says, will his raging demon be unblockable like in Street Fighter, and will the only way to avoid it be to jump over it? I say that the move is so unique to Street Fighter that its properties will have to change because Akuma now lives in 3 dimensions. The fact is that the move in Street Fighter moves towards the player in a straight line unless they jump over Akuma. In Tekken, the move will have to have tracking properties because that move would be totally useless given its nature if it could be easily sidestepped. I reckon you'll have to jump over him still, which means he might be open for a moment for you to quickly counter with like a jab to the back of the neck or something. Jim Bob the Fiddle says Street Fighter is a spin-off of Tekken. And finally, that guy says, Yoshimitsu in Soul Calibur and now Akuma in Tekken. Let me guess, Soul Calibur past, Street Fighter present, and Tekken present are in the same universe. Namco, you'd never fail to amuse me. Actually, yes, I've already linked Soul Calibur to Tekken using Yoshimitsu's clan, sword, and time periods. And now with Street Fighter in the mix, we might have an even bigger story or game somewhere down the line. Something like Street Fighter cross Tekken cross Soul Calibur. Super Faded X Alpha Swords Retribution. Ultra. Version 3.0. The beta. Utilizing PlayStation VR on Android. Now with microtransactions. Let me stop. Thank you guys for all of your involvement with my videos. I really appreciate the support. You guys are thinking of all kinds of ideas and becoming more of a community. This is what a Tekken community should look like. People loving Tekken and nothing else. As I mentioned earlier, the next Tekken video will be on how all of this will affect Tekken Cross Street Fighter as well as the legitimacy of the story of Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Please leave your comments and theories below. Also, a new Tekken theory and lore would be out, so keep out an eye for that. I haven't forgotten about it. It's just been a crazy month, and I'm still here for you guys. Thanks for 3,000 subscribers, all of this engagement, and keep it up, and remember that you cannot kill an idea, and I'll see you guys next time!